It's good, y'all. I hope you guys are having a great Wednesday. To continue Wednesday on our Firm Boy Squad Week, we'll be going with TSM Fougère by Declaration Grooming and Chantilly Luxe. So this is a fantastic scent. I was luckily able to acquire this recently. To me, comes off as a bright cologne fougere. Very, very green scent if you're not into green scents. Because there are fougères out there that I find aren't as green because they have other things. But this is very green and I like it. So to match the kind of green colored theme today, we'll be going with my Fantasia colored Samurai Paladin. This is a 26 millimeter knot, moderately jelly. It feels like a 24. And when I saw this drop randomly, I had to jump on it. The color is just incredible in the shape. It's not as ergonomic as some of my other handles, but it's absolutely beautiful to look at, and just look at the detail. Yeah, so this is actually, by the way, this is in the Bison base. So we're gonna be loading from that. I'll do like 30 seconds. All right. Yeah, so the Bison base is, if you guys don't know, Scott's from Declaration Grooming's original base back when it was L&L Grooming. And after that, he kind of changed it to the Icarus base, which is I think in 2018. Not too sure. All right, it's 30. And then after that, he went over to Milk Steak. So, yeah, but this base is phenomenal. Like, if this was the current base, I wouldn't even be mad. And it's much harder than Milk Steak. Milk Steak does harden over time, though. But I'd say this is, I don't know, it could be because it's older. You know, it's about a couple years old. Today I used Razor Rock pre-shave. I already applied it, but I'm about to work it in. I'll go over the razor in a second. I don't normally like green scents. Like, I'm not crazy about them, but this one is just very nice. Very complex. I'll go over the scent notes in a bit. All right. Dude, this stuff is slick. Bison base is no joke. If it probably wasn't for all the new bases out there, this would easily be on my top 10. All right, let's get into it. Okay, forgot. So today we'll be using the Outlaw razor by Alpha Shaving. So this is a recently designed razor by Alpha Shaving, and this is one of my favorite handles. I found it even more grippy than the Rex handle or the Rex Envoy, which is probably one of my favorite handles ever. And look at the finish on this. You wouldn't believe me if I told you this is a stainless steel razor that costed $120. The charcoal goods was $200, and it was like a stone polished finish. It wasn't shiny like this at all. The Game Changer was $65. Other razors in that price range, in the 100+ range, they like to do machined, which I'm cool with. But I thought the finish was fantastic for the price. Like, just look at this. You don't normally see that. So we got a fresh kind here. Let me get into lathering. So this is quite the complex scent. Sean over at Chantilly Luxe does not disappoint in that department. So it's got 18 scents, right? So the scents are oak moss, violet, anise, bergamot, cedar, clary sage, geranium, grapefruit, grass, lavender, musk, incense, nagamartha, neroli, petitgrain, Spanish moss, tonka bean, and vetiver. I'm not making this up, guys. It's a ton of scent notes. This is more than, I think it might be more than Zaharoff, which is like 13 or something. Yo, look at this lather though, it's sick. Bison is such a good base. Better than Icarus in my opinion. Anyways, yeah, what I get is, I get the incense, I get the musk, it is musky. I get all the green parts, the vetiver, the grass. I don't get all scents, don't worry. But I think the brightness is there from the lavender, the incense, and the neroli, which does, I think, in my opinion, add brightness to the scent. But yeah, all in all, it's very cologne-y, in my opinion, green Fougère, and I thought this was fitting to use in the middle of Fur Boy Squad Week. So thoughts on the Samurai is not as comfortable to hold, badass looking handle, and the knot is very, very soft. One of the softer knots I've ever tried. Backbone could be better, but it's not bad enough that I would ever think about really getting rid of it. All right, first pass. Skin was a little irritated from yesterday's shave. So I'd go with thought I'd go with a more comfortable razor. So thoughts on the razor is, even though the head geometry is completely different from the razor I'm about to mention, it feels similar. So it feels similar if the DE89 feels like a DE89 had a bigger gap. Like if you just took the design and feel of the DE89 and you made the gap bigger, that's the best way I could describe this razor. So over at Alpha Shaving, they designed this razor to be a 2-pass razor. That's literally what they say. So it's meant to be very, I might get a weeper here, because that bump has been here for like a week. Yeah, okay. So yeah, it was designed to be a 2-pass razor, and I guess it's kind of true. It's really efficient. Rudd said it was very aggressive, and I don't think it's, I don't know, in terms of feel, it's not the most aggressive razor out there. If I were to rate the blade feel, it would probably be like maybe 4.5 out of 10. I know in the past they said the charcoal is at like a 4, but I kind of retract that statement. I'd say the charcoal is like more like a 6 or 7. Definitely less than something like the Rex razors or the Blackland Dart. Just to kind of give you guys like a baseline idea. It's easier if I compare it to other razors than give a quantified number, because the number doesn't really mean much. Yeah, so far this base. Sorry about that, guys. I got a phone call. What was I saying? I said yeah. So I pretty much finished the first pass when that phone call came, and I'm about to do the second pass. I did open up a wound here where that bump is. I've been using Panad Clubman's bump gel, and it's been working pretty well. It definitely reduces the bumps, but me applying a razor blade to it just re-aggravates it every time. I don't know if it's an ingrown hair or what, but let's get back. Yeah, as I was saying at the end of the first pass, I was saying it was doing fine so far with the Bison base and the Outlaw razor, which I think is a fantastic razor for the price. Yeah. Oops. That's when you know it's hydrated. Jeez. Yeah. Hope you guys are doing well. I find this very comfortable to hold when I kind of leave my fingers in that groove there. But when I start to put my fingers down here, it kind of like stabs into my finger. It's not ergonomic. So I kind of have something in the works. I think that can adjust the design, and I will surprise you guys later. Might be a while though. So this, surprisingly, this lather is super easy to work with. It's one of those soaps that can take a lot of water but doesn't need it. Kind of the same way Milk Steak does. It's not as dense as Milk Steak. It's a little bit more airy, but it's still pretty dense. I'd say it's even easier to work with than Milk Steak though. Alright. Yeah, but when I saw this, when I was able to grab this scent, I jumped on it. Yeah. It's pretty efficient, I'll tell you that. So me being a fan of Chantilly and Luxe scents could be kind of like a double-edged sword, because although I do enjoy scents, it's not really sustainable for him to make all these scents and continue to offer them all year round. So a lot of the scents that people enjoy from him are limited release and hard to get sometimes, especially if it's been a while. So it can be frustrating if you follow someone who makes a lot of great scents and it's not in their permanent line. Against the grain. So this scent was kind of meant to encapsulate kind of the idea of flowers blooming around trees, the rocky terrain, like, you know, the rocks of the Missouri Rhineland. So I mean, I've never been there, but definitely I think it paints a picture. Very close. Very efficient. Face is BBS. We're gonna keep the lather on. Just apply some water. So I still lather on my face, even though I might not do it on the third pass, just for the sake of working the lather in, if anyone was wondering. But yeah, as you can see, it can take the water, no problem. And I got gobs of lather from this 30-second load. This is probably enough for 2 or 3 more passes. Kind of reminds me of Noble Otter. If you do a 30-second load on a Noble Otter soap, you're gonna have enough lather for like 6 passes, dude. Yeah, it's not the most comfortable razor ever, but it's not like stabbing you kind of blade feel. It's like, depending how steep the angle is, you feel it more or less. And you know, if you just use a light touch like you should on all razors, it's not too much at all. Yeah, I was kind of, I mean, I guess I was surprised initially when Rudd said it was aggressive. Maybe he was referring to his efficiency rather than straight up harsh. But yeah. I watched Ken Shave 326's comparison today with the Charcoal Goods Level 2 versus the H&S. Hold on, let me feel here. Okay. I thought it was pretty interesting. What I also found interesting was like how he elaborated on his preference for his razor, rank of razors. So for him, if it's more fun to use, that plays a bigger role. More so than the efficiency. Well, the efficiency kind of goes hand in hand, I guess. I don't know. But I'm curious to see where the Rockwell falls into that. How fun is the Rockwell to use? how efficient it is. Is it more efficient than the Diamondback for him? Because like I'm just dying to see that comparison now. Ever since he dropped that bomb yesterday. Yeah, so really curious to see that, Ken. Yeah, like why is it your number two? Because from what I've heard, it's like super smooth. I don't know how much blade feel you get from it, how fun it is. And we got 2 cuts, guys. This one is irritated, but it's not bleeding. But yeah. Just cleaning up here. All right, pretty much good. Gonna jump on the Chevette in a second. Yeah, that's all right, cool. So just rinse off real quick. All right, going back to the CJB with the Feather Professional Super Blade. So right now, my skin feels very soft and smooth. Great post-shave feel on this soap. It feels very well hydrated. If you guys can see that. Like with the Talon Steel the other day, was it Talon Steel? Yeah, it felt on the drier side of my skin, even though it still felt very soft. Just thought it was interesting when I felt that. So I know I was mentioning, so tomorrow I'm going to be using probably my favorite Fougère. This might be my number 2. Technically, I don't own my favorite Fougère. It's not in my den for one reason only. And that's because I cannot get a good lather out of that base. And that soap that I'm referring to is called Fougère Angelique by Barrister & Mann, that is made in the reserve base. And that stuff is some of the slickest, it's the slickest soap I might have ever used to date. It's so freaking slick. But I found the density to be close to non-existent in my experience. And me personally, I just can't get a good lather with it. I tried a little soap, ton of water, a lot of soap, a ton of water, a lot of soap, a little water. It just doesn't agree with me. But many other people have good experiences with it. So, you know, take whatever I just said with a grain of salt. It's a shame to me personally because that scent is amazing. I've never tried Fougère Gothique though, which is Marion's favorite, and it might be Ken's favorite. I can't remember. But I wish he would have released that in Excelsior, man. I would have popped on that in a second. And we're pretty much done with the shave. I did get a couple cuts. I've been slacking lately, guys. I don't know what's going on. When you're throwing in different blades and different razors throughout the week, it tends to happen. So I'm gonna mix some of this in here. Why not? Yeah, bison goodness. Scott should really bring like a limited release of this soap back. I'd buy it. Whether it's this scent or, I mean, bison base and another scent, I'd buy it. It's good enough that I'd buy it again. All right, so time to get into the post shave. Give me 1 second, guys. So we will be using Moon Soaps and Scented Balm, which is my new go-to. I used 2 pumps, which I probably shouldn't have used. We'll use 2 drops Rescue Potion. And then right now we're using the matching aftershave splash of TSM Fougère. So we'll use, that's good enough. Oh man, so I experienced different scents, different notes from the soap and the aftershave. I feel like it's harder to recreate a scent when you have to mask it over the base and you get the true intention of the scent in the splash. And the splash is amazing, guys. It's a cologne, beautiful fougere. It's so complex, beautiful scent. Chantilly Luxe rarely ever disappoints. I think the only scent that disappointed me, which is the award-winning scent that everyone loves, is Winestress. Sorry, I got a little bit buff up here. Yeah, it's BBS. All right, we're good. Yeah, Duffy got some hair in there. I don't know if you can see that. Nope, you can't. Yeah, Winestress. It's the only one, man. It smelled like... I got the splash first before getting the soap, and it was the only one that smelled like just pure alcohol to me. You barely got the grape, the white grape. I barely got it, and I didn't get any other scent notes. Sent it over to a friend, a good friend of mine, and he loved it, and just like everyone else, and he got a lot more than I did, so glad that he was able to enjoy that. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Sorry for the longer video. I have no idea how long this went because phone call. But Firm Boy Squad out. I'll catch you guys in the next one.